Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ferocious Badger and welcome to my manga review of One Piece Chapter 770. It's called The Lance of Elbaf. Alright, so what happened in this chapter was, it wasn't, by my standards, a very eventful chapter in the way that anything big really happened. It was mostly just, more fighting scenes with the characters here in Dressrosa. I'm lukewarm on this arc. I think it's pretty good, but I think they're focusing too much on these side characters that we're never going to see again, and I honestly don't care about. I'd like to see more of the Warlords at this point, when we're 770 chapters in. I think it's not ridiculous for us to start seeing some more powerful guys, because the dudes we're seeing here are the same typical fare from all the different arcs of the series, and I love it. I mean, this is my favorite manga. I'm just saying I'd like to see more of the Warlords. I'd actually like to see Kaido fight Doflamingo. I want to see that. Don't put that out there like, oh shit, look what's gonna happen, and then just snatch it away from me. Nah, I mean, Oda, but it could still happen. Obviously, it's looking like what's gonna happen is Luffy's gonna, go ape shit and beat Doflamingo's ass, and Law's gonna be with him, and then maybe the other warlords and the Big Four actually start appearing again, but we'll have to see. So, but back to the events of this current chapter that we just had, chapter 770. Yeah, basically more continuation of the fighting. We have Zolo. He's fighting against Pika, the big fucking monster dude, who's like The Rock, except his voice. I don't mean like he's The Rock, like Dwayne Johnson. I mean like he's literally like Rock, like he's like the terrain. And his voice is like really high or squeaky apparently. Zolo pisses him off. He's making fun of his laugh, and he's planning on chopping him up, like Zolo does, like we see him do. Let's see what else we got going on here. So, alright, we have Bellamy. He's kind of lost his shit. I don't know what this guy's deal is, honestly. I knew he worked for Doflamingo back in Skypiea. They made it fairly obvious, I believe, or at least I could see it. The resemblance between the two characters is pretty close, and, he's got the symbol and everything. So I expected to maybe see him in this arc, which obviously we have, but his odd logic behind still fighting for Doflamingo seems kind of strange for me. I don't understand it. He's stupid, honestly. And Luffy's like trying to calm down. He's like, dude, fucking stop, man. Like, this guy just betrayed you, and now you're attacking me? Like, why aren't you helping me kill this guy? Like, he's a fucking psychopath. He's crazy. And you're bouncing around here trying to hit me? Like, dude, I'll wreck your shit. Don't do this. Just help me fight him. But no, he's like crying, and he's bouncing around using that spring attack, and he just punched Luffy in the abs. His hockey abs, I believe. I believe that's what they were, because they were black and shiny. But Bellamy, it looked like he also had hockey on his hand when he was hitting Luffy, so I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with that. I mean, obviously, I know Luffy is a billion times stronger than little Bellamy shithead. And honestly, I couldn't give less of a fuck about Bellamy. If he were to die at Doflamingo's hands, I'd be like, hey, that's pretty sad. But he basically, it's his own fault that he's stuck around this long with the knowledge that Doflamingo, he betrayed him. And he doesn't even like him. Like, for you to stick around, like, I have no sympathy for him. That's all I'm saying. He deserves everything he gets after that point, like, you can't choose that and then expect everybody to. So, but at least he's sticking with it at this point. What else is going on? Well, we have the Giant. He's one of the Giants who was a toy, and they released him. It's hard for me to keep up to date on all these people's names. Like, I look like an idiot. I'm sorry, but come on, there are a shit ton of people's names. There are a shit ton of names in this, and like, this Giant is a total badass. The guy who can like change his weight or change gravity, he's dropping on him with like 1 million tons or some shit, and the guy just hauls off and cold cocks him, like while he's falling, right on the top of his hand. He breaks his whole arm. He breaks his whole arm, you know, and then just boom, punches up and sends the guy flying straight up. Not, you know, and he doesn't even just go to the sky. He literally goes right into the bird cage and goes like gets all cut up and falls back down like shit. Yeah, he just gets sliced up. So, and then the giant guy passes out because obviously he just shattered his whole goddamn arm. And Zola's like, "Hey man, don't worry about it. When you wake up, we're gonna have this whole bird cage is gonna be gone." So he's basically making a promise that by the time this giant wakes up, they're gonna have defeated Doflamingo. Which I was like, "My man, that's pretty cool." Okay, and other than that, not really much is happening. Law has had his hand cut off by Doflamingo, or his arm, which was pretty scary, honestly. Like, I didn't expect it to go that way. I mean, I know, obviously there's, like, that stuff happens, but I didn't ever think that, like, he would quite literally get maimed by Doflamingo. And, I mean, there was blood and shit everywhere. I don't think it was his cut power, and I'm assuming he can probably reattach his arm with that, but I mean, he just straight got his, like, arm cut off, and he's done, at least for this battle, is what it seems. You can never know with One Piece, though, of course, because he'll probably stand up in mid-battle and, you know, cut off Dolphy's head or something, but, so yeah, good stuff from Oda this week, and, you know, I'm excited to see what happens next. And I hope we get to see more of the big dudes duke it out, and we don't have to see so much fluff with the littler guys and, you know, the side characters that aren't, you know, constant in the series. But other than that, I'm really enjoying it, and this arc is good so far. So good chapter this week, and I'm looking forward to next week. See ya!